All right, folks. All right. Okay. Admittedly, I'm not a member of South Africa's Democratic Alliance, a political party, and never will be. Not a South African, and a left of center political party is not something I find appealing. That said, the bizarre situation that's unfolded in the George municipality in the Western Cape is shocking to say the least. Allegations of the deputy mayor back in 2022 sexting a family relative who was of age apparently at that stage, but nonetheless still in high school, and demanding nude photographs of a family member or extorting her. These are the allegations that were raised in 2023 about events in 2022. The Democratic Alliance began an investigation, and that investigation apparently started in February of 2024. According to their own statement, took 6 months to conclude, and now it's taken a further 3 months or so for them to release the results. They now say that they cannot take action. But this is strange. It flies in the face of comments released a month ago about this investigation. Now on Remembrance Day 2024, the Democratic Alliance says there's nothing we can do. Really interesting. Let's take a look at what was said in the previous release of news on this story and then what's currently being said by the Democratic Alliance. In October, on October 14th, the News 24 reported that George sexting deputy mayor still in post despite DA recommending criminal charges. So what exactly was said in this news story from the DA internal report? Well, according to the Democratic Alliance's own information, this is reported in News 24. The DA said in its report that the victim who gave testimony, now apparently the victim spoke to the Democratic Alliance. It said that Figland had forced her to take nude photographs in an extortive manner after finding out that she was in a relationship with another person. Really? Why would he do that? Anyway, the report went on to say that engaging in extortionist behavior, regardless of the age of the person involved, in other words, she's not a minor, does not meet the standard by any stretch of the imagination. He lies without hesitation and shows no sign of any embarrassment when caught out in the lies. Now, when I saw this in the recent news report, I thought that was a statement by the good party. But according to this news report from October 14th, that's within the DA's internal report. So what gives? What came next on Remembrance Day? Well, on Remembrance Day of 2024, the DA changes its tune and says something completely different. Well, let's take a look at what that report has to say as Member of Parliament Willie Okamp released a press release from the Democratic Alliance, which contradicts the statements made in October. Apparently, this is the only photograph that the News 24 folks can get of Mr. Figland. DA says it cannot convict George deputy mayor for allegedly sexting pupil. Now that in itself is interesting. Let's take a look at the specific comment here in this story. In Member of Parliament Willie Okamp's press release on Remembrance Day 2024, the story says the DA says George Deputy Mayor Raybin Figland has no criminal liability for allegedly sexting a teenage pupil. Now, how is it up to the Democratic Alliance to determine criminal liability? That would be for law enforcement or a prosecutor, not for a political party to determine, would it not? And on Monday, they concluded in their internal disciplinary process that, and I quote, despite repeated efforts, the key witness in the case refused to testify. And without her evidence, it was impossible for the panel to convict Figland in the matter. The key witness refused to testify. Now let's for a moment allow for that soft language to say the key witness. Maybe the key witness is not the victim. And how would that be possible? Who else would the key witness be? This is opaque behavior by the Democratic Alliance, which has always been present, but has been ever present since its participation in government national unity. The one rare exception has been the case of Ronaldo Gos, who was thrown out on his ear and kicked out of a party that he gave his heart and soul to. Now, this isn't a defense of Ronaldo. This isn't an attack on Ronaldo, simply stating the facts. For those who say that conflating two cases is erroneously, I say to you, it shows a clear pattern of hypocrisy. Who is protecting this man? Never mind, let's say that he didn't extort the young lady. Let's say that he didn't demand nude photographs. Let's say that no criminal act was committed here. The Democratic Alliance claims that in the case of Ronaldo Gos, it has an obligation to uphold moral and ethical standards. Okay, let's accept that. Words hurt the DA. It hurts their feelings when somebody uses hyperbole 14 years ago. We'll accept that on its face value. But you find it okay that a married man is texting high school students? Why? Is he their netball coach? what is going on here? Now, the mention he's related to the person could explain it, but the DA does an insufficient job explaining to us what's happening, particularly in light of previous comments from the report saying that, in fact, they caught him lying. He lied to the federal chair and the investigators in the DA. Why does the DA try to obfuscate and distract with bait and switch, telling people that they have no evidence to convict? It's not your job to convict. It's the job of a court of law to convict someone of a criminal act. And even if he didn't commit a criminal act, the DA is basically telling us it's okay to be a person in a position of power and demand nude photographs from young people. How is that even right? How is that a good look for the Democratic Alliance? It's not a good look. But hey, they're part of the government of national unity with their friends in the African National Congress. Should we expect any less behavior? They hold themselves up as a paragon of virtue. Really? More like hypocrites of the highest note. What say you? Yes, the Ronaldo close case is different. Yes, this is different. But I'm going off of what's reported from the DA reports and their own statements. Not making anything up here, not making any allegations other than one of hypocrisy. Again, what say you? Cheers, folks.